making a video today to show you a do-it-yourself on making your own e-cig or vaporizer juice. Basically, as I'm sure you know, anywhere you go to purchase these, you're looking at anywhere from $5 to about $15 for anywhere from an 8 to a 15 milliliter bottle of e-juice, based on the manufacturer, the kind, and the concentration. When you're done watching this video, you'll realize that the cost of actually making this is nominal compared to what you're paying. For example, the products that I will be showing you today, I have spent a total of about a little under $75. The local shop that I go to, who I'll give credit for, they're actually a very good shop, Mixed Up Creations. They have locations in Pueblo, Denver, Aurora, and Colorado Springs. The best juice that I found there is a manufacturer that actually makes good quality stuff. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. My understanding is that they make a 50-50 VG-PG blend, which I like, and I love their flavors. The problem that I have with it is with tax I'm spending $10 a bottle. When you're talking at a cost of $10 a bottle, I'm not really saving a whole lot as compared to when I was smoking cigarettes, which it's been about a year now that I have not smoked a single cigarette, and about roughly 4 years that I've been an on and off smoker. But one solid year without a cigarette, and I can thank that all to the handy dandy vaporizer. For today's purposes, let me go ahead and start with the products that you'll need to go ahead and make your own E-Cig E-Juice. The first off is your primary mixtures, which is going to be your propylene glycol. Basically, you're going to probably want to buy this online. You can get it at any of your local drugstores as far as the pharmacy goes, like a Walgreens, your Walmart pharmacies, whatever it may be. You may need to ask the pharmacy to order it for you, which takes a day in most cases, so no big deal, but most of the time they do not actually carry these on the shelf. The second one you can get on the shelf. You can actually go to your local Whole Foods store or natural store, whatever, and pick up your vegetable glycerine. You want 100% pure vegetable glycerine, and in both products, the propylene glycol and the vegetable glycerine, you're really going to want to try to have the USP grade, United States pharmacopoeia grade propylene, and it basically just means it's edible. That's it. The next one is a little bit more dangerous, and I will caution ahead of time, I'm not responsible for anything you do with any of the products that I'm recommending here. This is simply an informative video, and I do caution that you do take extreme care when you are handling these products, especially the next one I'm going to show you. This is your nicotine additive. But I'm going to keep it in the bag just because better safe than sorry. This is the nicotine that we'll be using for this video. This is actually picked up from an online company by the name of My Freedom Smokes. My Freedom Smokes is actually where I get all of my supplies except for the vegetable glycerin. Reason for that really is this bottle here, 16 ounces, is $4.95 at the store that I can purchase it through, and they keep it on the counter. Don't have to order it. So that's a no-brainer. As far as your propylene glycol, your liquid nicotine, and any other products you want to add, My Freedom Smokes is the cheapest place that I've been able to find, especially the nicotine. It can get very expensive. So I will provide for you links to the website, My Freedom Smokes, as well as where I get my flavors. You can get flavors on My Freedom Smokes from 3 different manufacturers. However, I personally like to go direct to one of the particular manufacturers because you can buy it by the dram. It's only $1.95 a piece. Loran Oils is the place that I actually purchased them from. And those are the two that you'll go to in order to pick up your supplies. I also recommend picking up from My Freedom Smokes their sweetener. Hopefully my camera is not bugging out on you on the focus, but this is a wonderful, wonderful product. I find it to be a necessity. The fact of the matter is you can actually take that sweetener and let's say I know I have 2 bottles of juice that I had just sitting in a drawer that were absolutely disgusting. Take that sweetener, put a couple drops into any bottle of juice that you've got that you just didn't care for, and I'm willing to bet that you will finish off that bottle. Not only that, but when you are making your own, the fact is it can be the difference between an absolutely horrible tasting E-Juice and the best tasting E-Juice you've ever had in the world. So definitely a must-have in terms of that. Those are pretty much your products. The other is just going to simply be your flavoring, and you can really get just about anything. Loran Oils does have a limited selection, although it is a very big selection. I have seen other flavorings out there. There are other websites you can go to, so you'll definitely want to check that out. For the purposes of this video, My Freedom Smokes gave me a free dram of the black raspberry e-liquid, so I will go ahead and make a 10 milliliter bottle for you today using the black raspberry. Now, in terms of your mixture, what you're going to want to do is you're going to actually go to the link that I'm providing for you underneath the video, and underneath the video you will find a link.
Okay, so this is the software that you can download, and here in the software you're actually going to be able to mix and match your flavors. You're going to be able to set your VG and PG mixture. Really, you're going to be able to determine what type of juice you're making. Just to start off, what we're looking at here is your, first off, nicotine strength. The PG and the VG is referring to the pre-mix that your nicotine already comes in. So for example, the nicotine I showed you comes in a 50-50 PG-VG mix, and it is 100 milligrams of nicotine. Now, as you get down, you will go ahead and you can label it if you'd like to. You don't have to, but your flavor name will go here. This is not going to be checked because the flavoring that I have does not have a premix, which any of your Loran oils will not. You will then plug in your particular PG-VG mixture and how you plan on mixing things, as well as the percentage of flavoring that you want for your particular mixture. In my mixture, I found that 14 usually gets the job done. I do like a little bit more flavor than most. Some people say to stick to around 12% and then use the sweetener if you need, better flavor. I personally like a pretty good impact of flavor, so I go with 14%. You can play around with this and get your own personal preference. Again, anything can be fixed typically by just adding a little bit of the sweetener. Once you have your mixture set up, again, I go with 50-50. However, you can go with 75-25 or 25-75 or even 0-100. I recommend not going 100% propylene, but you can go 100% vegetable. Once you have that done, you'll come down here, click on the calculate button, and then it will give you exactly how much to mix in.
Now, this is all a preference thing. Again, you can play with this all that you want. You have different ways of being able to mix this up. One recommendation I can give you, in fact, would be when it comes to your mixture, the reason you might want to do a different mix of PG-VG than I go with, which is 50-50, is basically it has been shown that those that have issues with their lungs, coughing, for example, you might develop a chronic cough from your vaporizing. Some have complained of ulcers or stomach problems. It can even go up to indigestion or acid reflux. Tests have shown that the primary cause of this is probably your propylene glycol. Your propylene glycol is a little bit more harsh on the system. And so if that is the case, you can mix around maybe a 75-25, go with more vegetable glycerin. And there are even some manufacturers out there making e-juice at 100% vegetable glycerin. Okay, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to mix up the nicotine. And so for this particular calculation, the nicotine level that I'm doing is going to be 10 milligrams. You can do up to about 22 to 24, but to be honest, my style of vaping is almost constant. I do a lot of vaping throughout the day just because I like it. So I tend to stick to about 10 milligrams. So the recommendation on this one is going to be 20 drops. Okay, so we have our 20 drops of nicotine. And next we're going to go with our propylene glycol, which is going to be 76 drops. Next is going to be our vegetable glycerin, also at 76 drops, again 50-50 mix. Our next step is going to be our flavoring. At 14% flavoring, we're looking at about 28 drops. Now you can mix water in if you'd like along with it. There's actually even some that mix vodka in there. But again, you play around with it. See what you like, see what you don't like. You know, mix and match everything you've got. Even with the drop counts and everything, we were supposed to end up with about 10 milliliters, but we're a bit short on that. Really no biggie. What we're going to do is give it a good shake. So obviously that actually ended up coming out to about 5 milliliters there. Should look quite similar to what you're used to at home. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of the sweetener, just because I already know through the bottles I've made over time that about 2 drops of sweetener always makes it nice. What I'll go ahead and do is load up one of my empty tanks right now, and I'll show you how she smokes. So I've taken our mix and I've loaded it into a standard any starter kit tankomizer. By the way, I highly recommend the Pro Tank 2. Pro Tank 2 is a hell of a tank. Little bit of a interesting setup in the way that they've got it, but this is definitely by far the best tank I've ever used, and I've used quite a bit of them. Any mod user, great way to go. And even if you're using my backup, any of the Egos, works great on it. They give you a nice little adapter ring, goes right on top, fits really well, so it doesn't stick off of the top real well with the 510 thread. But anyway, so I've loaded up our juice, and let's give it a try. Actually, I recommend the black raspberry. Good flavor. Smokes really well, vaporizes really well, and it's got a good draw to it. I can't complain. It's just as good as any E-Juice I've ever tried, if not better. So there you have it. I hope this helps, and I hope this saves you money. That's the ultimate goal. Take care.